What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I was just gonna do a video, but I decided to do an early live stream. It's just easier that way. I don't have to go and upload a video and do all that shit. I can just go into my YouTube studio and just edit it, give it a thumbnail, and be done with it. So let's go over a couple of things. First off, first thing I want to go over is the vertical stabs. If you look closely here, guys, and if you guys leave messages, just keep in mind that I actually have to switch over to a different page on my, because I'm doing it from my phone. In order to see those messages, I have to actually switch over to the message board, so I don't see your messages unless I check them. So just be mindful of that if you're leaving comments. So basically, they want you to just put this whole vertical stab on just by this one piece right here. So it goes into this, you glue it into this, the vertical stab first, and then you glue it down here. The problem is this thing's flimsy. The servo casing right here, it moves, it wobbles. I mean, I can understand the design because this is a flat piece, so the pressure is being pushed this way. But you will get sideways pressure on this too, you guys, and that wasn't gonna hold. So I put carbon fiber rods here and here, and ran them up this here, and then glued it down. So now it's got carbon fiber in the front. Both of these do. They both do. I opted to just go with the traditional rudder. I know that these PACBAs actually have full pivoting rudders. Since how I'm not using the thrust vectoring, I just think regular rudders are going to work just fine. Like, I don't use a lot of rudder anyway unless I'm landing. Yeah, so my flying style is a lot of bank and yank. I do mix a little bit of rudder in with my turns though, so if I'm banking to the left, I'd put a tiny little bit of rudder throw in with it. That way when it comes around, it kicks the nose down. It's just something that I've learned how to do that helps out my flying style. So I don't have to mess with the rudder. It's automatically giving me a little bit of rudder input to give me that nice, smooth turnout, which keeps the nose down. If you do get bank and yank, sometimes what happens is the nose will pitch up and she'll start climbing on you. And you got to dip the wing down even further to get her to, come down. Throw a little bit of rudder in with your aileron, just a little bit, 3-4%, and you'll see a huge difference in the way your plane handles when you're doing your bank and yank maneuvers. All right, so we did the rudders. Okay, so what was the next thing? Awesome, the next thing. So the next thing was that RC Informer, he actually, under his plane, he dug out all the foam underneath this, and he put wood in there and did all kinds of stuff like that. Look, guys, all I did was just like what are they called, killer planes. I learned this shit from Killer Planes. Pilot Ryan did it on his Corsair after he had his accident. You just put a slit in the foam, guys, and then I pushed a flat carbon rod right here into that crack. Now look, guys, look at that. Nothing. It's getting no movement at all. I even put a small hinge all the way out to the edge here. You got the bigger Dubro hinges in the back, as you can see. You can see the bigger Dubro hinges that I have in there. So this back is good, you guys. Is it as elaborate as RC Informers? No, not really. But doing it this way saves me from putting anything in the path of the EDFs, you guys. I did not want to run anything through my thrust tubes. There's no cheater fans on this plane, so basically all the air that's coming through the intakes in the front is what you're getting. I didn't want to obstruct it in any way, so that's why I went with this. That's why I did it this way. And I also did it on the other side, you guys. You guys can see there's a carbon rod right there. It goes all the way up to the wing root here, and it goes all the way back to the end of the tail. And nice and stiff, you guys. I'm not going anywhere. And then what else did I have? There's only one more thing that was concerning to me, and it was to him too. as you can see, if I pull this wing out a little bit, you'll notice that that these pin positions are back aft in the wing. And what started happening to his after a few flights, this started like coming up, folding up. So what you have to do, guys, is put a carbon fiber like rod or pin, put a couple of them here and one back here, and then push it in, and that way it secures the tip of that wing straight up to the edge. And that's the last thing that I really have to do. Another thing, guys, look, stay away from the water slides that they give you. They're absolute garbage. They're the worst water slides I've ever had to deal with. They awful, just absolutely complete trash. Don't waste your time with it. I'm glad that I put my own paint scheme on this, because if I would have left it gray and had to deal with those water slides, I probably would have ended up throwing this fucking thing in the trash. I went to take them off because they just weren't sticking. No matter what I did, they wouldn't stick. And I wasn't going to glue the damn things to the plane, so I just decided to just to take them off. Screw it. I'll actually tape this off or paper towel it, and I'll paint my own on the damn plane. I should have just done that in the first place. But what enticed me to do it was they had a super sweet set of brown ones in here, you guys. There's actually a brown set of engine decals in here. I think they're on the kitchen table, actually. I hope they're, no, maybe they're not, I don't know. Anyways, they actually have a brown set of engine decals and stuff in this kit. Like, see, these are the gold ones. They actually have a set of brown ones in here too, and the brown ones look super nice, you guys. And I was going to use the brown ones because the paint scheme on the plane is brown, but they wouldn't stick, you guys. It looked awful. They were all wrinkly. I tried, putting heat to them, getting them to shrink up a little. They're just not very good. They're not very good water slides. I don't know how to explain it any better than that, but I soaked them, I slid them off, and they're supposed to stick after that. After they dry and they set up and they stick. These things were not sticking. They were flaking off. You could see that they were peeling all over the place, and I was just like, that looks like absolute trash. So I thought, well, I'll just peel them off. Well, in the process of peeling them off, there were some spots where it's stuck to the point where it's not coming off, and I was picking at my foam, and so I said, you know what, screw it. I'll just leave it alone. I'll sand it a little bit. I'll tape it off with some tape and paper towel, wet paper towel, and I'll just paint my own engine portions on. I'll just put some brown there. I mean, they're not too incredibly difficult to mimic or to copy and to do them yourself with spray paint or yeah, that pissed me off, you guys. Look, man, this thing was beautiful before I had to take those off. I got up here and got the canopy done. I haven't decided what I'm going to do up here for dark brown yet, or if I'm maybe just going to throw some dark brown on the nose. Like, maybe I'll just throw like a strip of brown here, dark brown here. But what I didn't want to do was have to two-tone the canopy. You know what if you guys know what I mean by that. I didn't want to have to put two different colors on this canopy. So I left the camo to the point where I don't have to do that. What else did I have for you guys? This is not a plastic nose cone, you guys. If it falls off, it does dent up, so just be mindful of that. I'm gonna do mine in a magnet type deal. I'm gonna magnetize it so it's a magnetic nose cone, and then I'm gonna hobby coat the whole thing, like 3 or 4 coats, that way it stiffens it up. I just painted the tail of it. We do have a little bit more brown back here. There's a brown triangle or diamond shape that has to go back here, and then that's pretty much it for paint, you guys. I'm not going to camouflage the bottom of it. That will actually give me good orientation. If I see camouflage, I'll know it's the top. If I see, just a straight brown color, I'll know it's the bottom. The electronics are actually out for delivery right now, you guys. I just got the message at about 6:54. So the electronics for this are actually in the mail truck right now. out for delivery, and that's what we're going to be doing tonight on Tow the Line. We're going to be doing that mod for the wing, putting the servos and the ESCs in for right now at least. The control board that I bought, and then next week or the week after, like the 28th, whatever show the Friday the 28th is. I think that's a couple weeks from now. That's when we'll be putting the EDFs in this. So that'll make for a pretty good show. Then this thing will be ready to go. Then we just got to balance it out. I got the retracts we still have to install in it. So there's still a little bit that we have to do, guys. This was a complete kit plane. Also, we're ripping these round pivot things out of here, and we're just going to glue this straight to here. I'm not using the thrust vectoring in this plane. There's just no reason to. It's a super light plane, and I know how well that Raptor flies without thrust vectoring. The free wing giant scale Raptor there, that thing flies great without thrust vectoring. I'm damn sure this is lighter. It'll fly just as good as the Raptor without thrust vectoring. So, and I don't know how to set it up, and I don't want to learn how to do it. And I don't know how to use it, even if I did set it up. So, yeah. So it's not something like Skip. I'm just like Skip. Skip says the same thing. It's just not something that I want to get involved with right now. I think she'll do just fine without thrust vectoring. I mean, I have the small pack file, the twin 50mm one. It's a lot smaller than this one, about half the size of this plane. It's a Banana Hobby LX plane. And as long as you can find yourself a nice set of 50mm fans to put in that thing, you're good to go. But the stock ones, as soon as you go full throttle and they're slightly out of balance, every one of those fan blades break right off. And that's exactly what happened to mine. And that's why it's sitting in there in pieces, because, yeah, I franked the tank that one. I got pissed because the fan blades broke off, and I grabbed it and I threw it on the ground. I stomped on it like 4 or 5 times. So, yeah, she's not doing so well. But that's just because those 50mm stock fans that the Banana Hobby planes come with, they're just so cheesy. They're just super cheap, and if they're not perfectly balanced, and if they're touching the EDF housing whatsoever, they're gonna snap off, and they snap off quick. Expected delivery by 8 p.m. Oh, so that was the United States Postal Service again. They're giving me updates like every hour on the hour. It says it should be here by 8 o'clock, which is good. That means I'll come home from work, I'll start the show, and then I'll have everything ready to go. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna check the messages real quick, see if anybody's in here. All right, cool, people are in here. All right, holy shit. Okay, Ethan, what's up, Ethan? Sky Blazers, how you doing, bro? Michael Roshka, Hal Roofner, John Newt's Airborne, the RC Air Marshal. I'm surprised you're awake, Dave. Fucking Kenny kept us up all night. Man, if you guys were not in Hangar 51's live stream last night, you guys, you missed out, man. I think that was the most fun I think any of us have ever had in Kenny's live stream. It was a blast. Everybody was just full of fucking jokes and full of shit and piss and vinegar, and it was a good time. It was a good time. I had fun moderating. It was great. That was a fun time. So make sure you're there next time. Make sure you guys are there next time. You never know when it's just going to be one of those super awesome, fun streams. Most of them are not, but that one last night was fucking cool. And Kenny's a good dude, and he deserves for you guys to be there supporting him. But yeah, so I didn't want to stay on too long. Like I said, I'm doing a live stream right now because I don't feel like uploading and merging and editing videos. So I'll just go into my YouTube studio and give this a title. But yeah, guys, she's close. I mean, I was pretty intimidated by the kit when I first saw it and I started pulling it out of the box. Once I started putting stuff together, and I mean, it gets less intimidating the more you do it. Like I bought a kit, Avios MiG 17, and I was pretty intimidated by that. And once I started putting it together and put the servos in it and did all that stuff, it's not as overwhelming as you think. And once you do one, they get easier each time. So this one's a easy breezy. So yeah, not a lot left to go in, guys. I am going to use this decal sheet right here because it does have the stars and the numbers. This plain number is like 59, I believe, but we're just going to go ahead and use the 51, the 051. That one goes on the front, up on the front fuselage, and then these go on the tail, I believe. So I will be using those. Hopefully, these are really shitty water slides, you guys. They're not very good at all. Not very good at all, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they don't work. I like it. All the other water slides I've ever used in my entire life, they've worked great. I mean, I've never had a shitty water slide. These are shitty water slides, guys. They're not very good at all. Not very good. They pissed me off bad. And the retracts, we don't have to do the modification on these retracts, you guys. Let me explain why. It's already done. You know, when RC Informer made that video about this plane and all the upgrades it needed, they actually took notice, you guys. So here was one of the spots that you needed to upgrade. Let me find the spot. Okay, so there's a spot in there that he actually had to file down and round off. Well, they actually put a groove in there. There's actually a groove in there, and they did it themselves. They upgraded the gauge of the wire, and they siliconed it. You can see the silicone on the wire right there. See it? So they did everything that RC Informer did with his retracts to upgrade them and make them better. They're doing that at the manufacturers now. So that's cool. So we don't have to mess with the retracts. That's a good thing, because that's actually a pretty decent job to do. A lot of you guys were like, this glue right here is like absolute shit and it's not very good. Well, they must have changed that too, because this shit is fucking awesome. It's just like foam tack. Actually, it's a lot more like tackier, and it dries faster than foam tack. I tested it out on a couple of spots just to make sure, because Love RC said the shit sucked, and I believed him. But I think they changed the formula of it, because this stuff's ridiculous. I think it's actually a little better than foam tack. So don't be afraid to use that glue if you get an LX model like this. Let's check the messages again, and then I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Valentine's Day, and I got to go pick up flowers and shit, and I gotta go grab my daughter's gift. It's at my parents' house, or my wife's parents' house. They're my parents too, whether they like it or not. Congrats to Dave Marshall for his 500th subscriber. Well, wait a minute. Don't thank him yet, or don't do that yet, because I'm gonna go unsubscribe real quick. Dude, I work during the week. I know, dude. I know, man. I know you do. You fucking tell the Navy they need to give you more than that pension, boy. See, when my dad signed up for the military, it was like 75 or 80%, or maybe it was 90. I can't remember. All I know is that right after he enlisted, they changed it to like 60 or 50%. So my dad actually gets 70% of what he made as a Master Chief in the Navy. A fucking lucky prick. He just beat the deadline when he went in like 1976 or 77, I think, is when he enlisted and went to boot camp. And he just made the cut, bro. Where he actually, when he retired, if he retired and did his, full 20 years or whatever, I think he ended up doing like 23 years, that he would get 70% of what he made, while he was active duty. So, yeah, that motherfucker makes bank, bro. And then he owns, I think he's in some type of engineering. He does some type of engineering, some type of desalination thing where they take salt water and make it drinking water or something. Him and his buddies do that shit. So yeah, I don't know about you, Dave. What was your retirement set at? Not 70%, right? You went in the 90s, didn't you? Who said that? RC Air Marshal. He said that retract looks to be of questionable quality. Well, let me tell you something, RC Air Marshal. As long as it works better than those fucking overpriced, expensive E-Flight retracts that destroyed my Focke-Wulf, then we'll be all right. The retracts are actually not too bad. So this is like a carbon, almost like a carbon fiber. It's not plastic. It's like a carbon fiber. It's got a metal plate. The insides are all metal. The motor's metal. I don't like that the housing here, the motor mount is plastic. I don't like that. But not bad overall. It's got a real rubber tire on there. Solid. It's solid too. It's not squishy. It's solid. And then the upgrades that needed to be done to it that RC Informer did to his are already done. They're already done on this, which is cool because that was one of the first things that I did. I took that retract out to make sure that it needed to be done, or if it didn't need to be done. But that's it, guys. I don't want to keep you guys. I know you guys are on your way out the door for work. It's Valentine's Day today, guys. For all you homos that forgot already, don't forget to treat your fucking wives special today, okay? They fucking deserve it. They work hard and they deal with our fucking punk asses every day of the week. So make sure you get your asses out. Make sure you do something special for them. Make sure you buy them something special. Make sure you take a shower tonight before you go to bed and you don't smell like shit and you doll yourself up a little bit. Just make this day about her, man. This is her day. It's not about you. It's not about you, Dave. It's about her. So take care of your women. If you have a woman, and if you don't have a woman, then, well, you need to get on that shit. Time is of the essence. Hell no. It's 50. Ha! Okay, so Dave Marshall. Okay, so you get 50%. Yeah, so you know what? Now that I think about it, Dave, I think it's 75%. I think, yeah. They changed it right after he enlisted. They passed something and it went through right after he enlisted. All he had to do was get out of boot camp and get to his duty station before it went into effect, and he did. He just made it by the skin of his teeth. And I think, yeah, he gets 75%. I think that's fucked up, man. I think 75% is fair. That's what if you give the military 20 years of your life, or you get injured in the line of duty, I believe 100% that you should at least get 75%. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, they're the military, they're the government, for fuck's sakes. They have the right to print money. So what are they worried about, right? So yeah, guys, we'll get back to this tonight. I'll see you guys on Toe the Line. I'm gonna go take a shower. Probably take a nap for a second. And then I gotta go grab flowers and shit and fucking set my daughter's room up with all her stuff, and then I gotta set my wife's room up with all her stuff. Yeah, put the effort in. And all you assholes should too. It's her day, remember that. I'm out of here, guys. Dave's RC. Smell you later. Dave, congratulations on the 500 subs. Now give me my fucking plane. I'm out of here, guys. You guys take it easy. Have a good day.